Hey, what's up, everybody? Ralph here. So I came across this article in Forbes where they're talking about how members of Congress, if they would be able to be allowed to cancel their own student loans. Now, for me, just thinking about that off the bat is just like, yeah, right. I mean, these Congress people make six figures, well over six figures. They make more than the average U.S. citizen. So the fact that this was even an option, or the fact that some people may be even thinking about this, just like makes absolutely no sense. First of all, like I said, they make a lot of money. They're able to, they're able to create laws that would benefit them. So the fact that was even in discussion is just like, how is this? How could this even be possible? But I mean, obviously, but the good news is, according to this article, they're finding ways. Like members of Congress are trying to come up with ways where to make this not possible for members of Congress to cancel their own student loans. So let's read the article and see what they're saying. So it says, all right, so Rep. Tom Cole has introduced the Can't Cancel Your Own Debt Act, which would disqualify members of Congress from getting their student loans canceled through federal student loan forgiveness programs if enacted during their time in Congress. Also, this includes student loan cancellation by executive order through the presidency, agency action, U.S. Department of Education, or the act of Congress. Third, prevent members from Congress from getting any service or employment-based student loan cancellations, such as public service loan forgiveness for time served as a member of Congress. All right. And it says, all right, so based on, he quoted, the American people expect their representatives to act impartially and at their best interest of their constituents, not their own financial interests, Cole said. It is simply unconscionable that a member of Congress making an annual salary of $174,000 paid for by the American taxpayer could then personally benefit from voting to cancel the repayment of their federal student loans. Members of Congress collecting a six-figure salary would surely be required to repay the money they borrowed through U.S. Treasury. And that's the thing, like these people make so much money that you should be able to pay off your student loan yourself. And not only that, but if you have people like members of Congress voting or pushing the president to say cancel student loans, that would also benefit them. So and obviously for a lot of people that wouldn't be fair, and that's an easy argument for those that are against student loan forgiveness. The fact that they would these people of Congress have access and ability to just create laws where it would also save them a lot of money, and obviously that wouldn't be fair. We don't want that, especially when you have a high net salary as they do, making $174,000 annually. So I mean, right off the bat, you should obviously that shouldn't be allowed because they obviously they benefit from that. So Cole wants to exempt members of Congress from getting any federal student loan forgiveness due to the inherent conflict of interest. Cole is concerned that legislators who support wide-scale student loan cancellation are seeking to get their own student loan forgiven too. Based on recent disclosure, there are 59 members of Congress who collectively hold nearly $6 million of student loan debt. I mean, you would think, man, how have you not paid this off by now? But who knows? Cole referenced a recent letter that 80 House and Senate Democrats sent to the President Joe Biden regarding immediate student loan cancellation of up to $50,000 of student loan debt. According to a recent financial disclosure, 17 members of Congress who signed the letter collectively reported personal student loan debt of up to $1.9 million. Cole notes that if Congress or the President cancels up to $50,000 of student loans, 11 of these 17 members of Congress would have their student loans completely canceled. All right. So basically, it's unlikely that Congress would seek to cancel its own student loans. Co-proposed legislation that would explicitly prohibit any attempt from the member of Congress to benefit from a wide-scale student loan cancellation. Practically, here's why members of Congress won't get student loan forgiveness. All right, so wide-scale student loan cancellation. Senate Majority Chuck Schumer and Elizabeth Warren proposed a $50,000 student loan cancellation. However, Schumer and Warren would limit student loan forgiveness based on annual income of 125. So basically, if you make under 125, you should be you'll be qualified. But if you make above that, then obviously you wouldn't qualify. And a lot of these members they have I think a lot of them make at least earn annually $174,000. So clearly they wouldn't qualify, right? And since members of Congress earn $174,000 annually, they would not qualify for any student loan forgiveness under the proposed plan. That said, that income threshold could change So Cole's legislation wants to make sure clear that members of Congress would disqualify the student loan cancellation regardless of income. So I guess he's just protecting just in case, the requirements change. And let's say if they move that, the requirement up from 125, then obviously a lot of these members would qualify. So he just wants to make sure that that's never the case. So he wants to just right off the bat just say no members of Congress can qualify for student loan forgiveness, which is the right thing to do, because no members of Congress should be allowed that. They make too much damn money, right? And this is also the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program provides federal student loan cancellation to borrowers who work full-time for a qualified public service or nonprofit employer and make 120 monthly payments. Servicing as an elected member of Congress does not qualify for public service loan forgiveness. That's already policy per the United States Department of Education. That said, Cole's legislation would reiterate this policy. So there's already ways that they don't qualify, and he just wants to make sure that it's stated and that people understand that members of Congress will not qualify for student loan forgiveness. So the next steps, so while members of Congress may be banned from student loan cancellation, you may be wondering whether you can qualify. While there are several opportunities for student loan forgiveness, there doesn't appear to be a clear path toward wide-scale student loan cancellation. Congress hasn't passed any legislation, and Biden doesn't believe he has executive authority to bypass Congress. So let me read that again. Congress hasn't passed any legislation, and Biden doesn't believe he has the executive authority to bypass Congress. Yet, during his whole campaign, he was like, I'm going to cancel student loans, right? Knowing that damn well he can't do it, right? But obviously we all understand these politicians say things to get votes, and obviously they like to use they like to use the whole "we'll cancel your student loan debt" to get a lot of votes, and clearly it works because people clearly can continue to expect that to happen. But like we said, man, if you understand, this is something that they've been saying for years, and it usually never happens. And Congress, importantly, temporarily student loan relief ends soon. So make sure you're prepared for the restart of the loan payments. This includes understanding all your options and choosing your best action plan based on your personal situation. So basically, anybody that thought, that was thinking, if members of Congress qualify for getting student loan relief, that's not going to happen. Because just imagine that you hear members of Congress that they got their student loan debts canceled. I'm sure if you're a person that owns debt, you don't care as long as your debt gets canceled as well. But it will be an uproar to hear a lot of people that don't have a student loan debt, or they've paid their debt. Imagine them hearing other members of Congress having their student debt wiped out. Especially knowing that they make well of six figures, $174,000. That's not a lot of people make that type of money. So you should be, if you make that type of money, you should be able to pay down your debt. And you should be, if you're someone that's making good income, then you should be able, if your money's properly managed, you should be able to pay that debt down easily, regardless of how much you owe, if you're managing your money properly. So that's all I got for you guys today. If you got a comment, question, make sure to leave a comment down below. Hit the like button, and do not forget to subscribe. All right. So you guys take care and have a good one. Later.